I'm sorry. We're going to move to proclamations. We have today the proclamation for LGBTQ Pride Month, June 2019. I'm going to come up to the podium and read this, and I will be presenting it. Thank you for being here. This is a City of St. Helena proclamation, LGBTQ Pride Month, June 2019. Whereas June is commemorated around the globe as International Gay Pride Month to honor and celebrate the history, achievements, and contributions of LGBTQ people. Whereas the City of St. Helena celebrates the vast diversity of its citizens and visitors, including those who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, or questioning, and seeks to ensure a safe, healthy, and inclusive place for all citizens, visitors, and their families. Whereas the City of St. Helena strives to be a community that offers equal opportunity to its citizens, all of whom deserve to live with dignity and respect, free from fear and violence, and protected against discrimination, regardless of gender, gender identity, gender expression, or sexual orientation. Whereas the City of St. Helena is committed to support and encourage diversity in the workplace and throughout the community. Whereas June has become a symbolic month in which lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer or questioning, and intersex people, their families, friends, and allies come together in various celebrations of freedom and pride. Whereas California has been a leader in advancing the civil rights of its LGBTQ citizens, and while further progress is needed, it is important to recognize and celebrate the substantial gains that have been achieved. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that I, Geoff Ellsworth, Mayor of the City of St. Helena, along with the City Council, do hereby proclaim June 2019 as Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, and Queer Pride Month, and invite everyone to reflect on ways we can all advance the rights and protections of LGBTQ people and live and work together with a commitment to mutual respect and understanding. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Ellsworth, council members, fellow city staff. Hi, I'm Casey McConnell. I'm the president of PFLAG Napa. And with me is Margaret, who's all the way in the back, and Kara Doring. And together we are a local chapter of PFLAG National, an organization that is committed to advocacy, support, and allyship by and for the LGBTQ people and families. We are honored to witness this proclamation, and we are proud to reside in a city that recognizes the importance of visibility and equality. Our mission is to build a foundation of loving families united with the LGBTQ people and allies who support one another, and to educate ourselves and our communities to speak up as advocates until all hearts and minds respect, value, and affirm LGBTQ people. We dream of a world where diversity is celebrated and all people are respected, valued, and affirmed, inclusive of their sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. If you would like to know more about us, you can find us on the web at pflagnapa.org and on social media. And starting this month, June 20th, we'll be having our support meetings here in St. Helena at the St. Helena Public Library from 6:30 to 8:30, and those will be every third Thursday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Sonia Haug. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. On behalf of the St. Helena High School GSA, the Genders and Sexualities Alliance, we thank you for your proclamation and recognition of the LGBTQ Pride Month.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we're going to move to 10.2, and this is discussion, direction, and proposed approval of a resolution rescinding Resolution 2017-75 and amending Policy P-CC-0001, outdoor display of governmental and non-governmental flags on city property, and 2, authorizing a ceremonial flag recognizing LGBTQ Pride Month during the month of June. This is prepared by April Mitz.
Great, thank you.
So in 2017, the City Council did establish an outdoor flag display policy. What this policy did is establish guidelines for flying the national, state, city, and non-governmental flags on city-owned property. Currently, only governmental flags are flown on the flagpole outside of the police department, right in front of City Hall. That was not intentional, I promise. City Hall. Can we please delete that? And ceremonial flags are currently displayed outside the Carnegie Building. At the May 14th City Council meeting, staff was directed to bring the outdoor flag policy back for discussion and direction, primarily to do a more predominant place for ceremonial flags. So the updated policy addresses the location of the ceremonial flag and does propose that instead of it being outside of Carnegie Building, a flagpole is actually erected next to the government flagpole right in front of City Hall. And then additionally, per the City Council policy, a request has been made to the city manager to fly the ceremonial flags for the month of June for the LGBTQ. So it splits it into two halves. The first half of the month is LGBTQ Pride Month, and the second half is the Transgender flag. So we are seeking council direction tonight on incorporating the changes to the current policy or incorporating different changes as City Council sees fit, and then also establishing the resolution to actually fly those ceremonial flags.
Thank you. Is there any initial council discussion? And it's my understanding that's a different height flagpole?
Correct. The current flagpole is 52 feet, and this would be a 40-foot flagpole, and Public Works Department has been looking at this and researching it and establishing what are the correct guidelines. And when the ceremonial flag is not being flown, we can fly the city flag, which we have a great city flag.
And so do we have a spot picked and ready to go?
Correct. The Public Works Department took all the measurements, and it will take a little bit of time to get the pole here. Actually, I believe it's a 4-foot by 4-foot hole they have to dig to be able to place because it's a very, very sturdy flagpole in there. But Public Works has been looking at the specs and the measurements, and it would be right adjacent to the current flagpole in front of the police department.
And we should be able to get it in by June, by the beginning of June?
I will let Erica talk about timelines for that.
That is the goal. We got anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks to the recent one, hopefully 2 days to a week. So we'll see.
Okay.
We're trying. It has to come by freight. It's a 40-foot pole, 44-foot pole.
If for some reason the pole doesn't show up, can we create sort of an interim situation so the flag can go up in June?
I'm sure. I just want it look secondhand in nature. We want to make sure it looks right.
Right.
So.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to open it to public comment. Is there any public comment on this at this point?
Who's going to get there first?
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Mayor Ellsworth and council members for responding to the community members' requests and trying to work with us to increase the visibility of your support for the LGBTQ community by flying the rainbow flag at St. Helena City Hall for Pride Month. And the trans flag, apparently, which is awesome. My name is Anne Sakawi Hemstreet, and I am queer. My wife is a physical therapist at St. Helena Hospital, and we have 2 children, a 3-year-old and a 7-week-old that I need to get home to soon. LGBTQ individuals and families in Napa County have said that they want visibility and to feel safe in their communities, schools, and workplace. Make no mistake, visibility and safety are linked. Some of us choose to be invisible for fear of being harassed or assaulted. Some of us choose to keep our relationship status or sexual orientation invisible because it's easier than the heartache and trauma of losing family and friends or your job or home. And yet, visibility is also what has shifted the thinking of the majority of our country, state, and cities. Because we come out to our loved ones and in the community, because there are more out public figures, because there are allies that proudly talk about their LGBTQ family and friends, we've seen an incredible shift towards acceptance of the LGBTQ community. But the fight towards equality is far from over. We've come a long way and still have a long way to go. A lot of that fight now resides in the hands of politicians. While the majority of our community members support us, there are still antiquated laws that don't protect us from discrimination. There are still people in government positions who may not mean harm, but can cause long-lasting damage to LGBTQ people because they haven't received appropriate training. There is still a dearth of appropriate mental health care services for gay and transgender people, particularly in smaller rural communities. City Council representatives, I hope you will take the first step of flying the rainbow flag during the month of June. It's a simple and important one. It tells my family, my kids, and all the LGBTQ teens and elders out there that we are visible to you. That you care about diversity and acceptance, and maybe you even believe that diversity is what makes our community beautiful. I sure do. And then I hope you will take the next steps to demonstrate your commitment to supporting the LGBTQ community. We feel visible and heard with the momentum in Napa County to fly rainbow flags. Both Napa City and Napa Valley Unified School District have voted to fly the rainbow flag in June. Calistoga has been doing this for years. Yountville and American Canyon plan to vote on the flag next week. We are beyond appreciative and empowered by the idea that the people we've elected are taking time to stand for diversity and inclusion and flying that rainbow flag this June. Thank you for your time and support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Mayor Ellsworth and council members. I want to thank you for your work on making this happen. A couple weeks ago in Napa City Council, where I live, I told the council there that actions speak louder than words. So it's great that you not only want to do this, but you figured out a way to do it and are putting it up for a vote tonight. I work for LGBTQ Connection, which is an organization based in Napa, but that has been doing work here in St. Helena since 2011. We got started because a young person came to our Voices Youth Center in Napa looking for support after they were kicked out of their home. And after we got her into the shelter, she wanted to know why our community had so many great things for young people, but no LGBTQ program. And we didn't really have a good answer other than after she kept pushing us that we'd try and start something. So we've been here in St. Helena doing trainings, working with the school. Currently, I have staff who are working with the middle school support club and who are all trying to increase this visibility and supports in the community like you are. The Family Acceptance Project is some great research out of San Francisco State University that puts data behind what LGBT people have known for years, that a family's acceptance or rejection can either increase the protection for that health of that child or can increase the risk for all of the things that might happen to that young person. As a gay person myself who grew up here in the Valley, one thing that actually surprised me, although it makes sense, is that silence or invisibility is not neutral. It actually counts as rejection in the research and increases the risk. So what you're doing by putting up the flag and voting on that is you are helping young St. Helenans or people of any age actually see that they are okay, and that even if people don't understand or agree with their identity, that someone is standing up for them. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, council members and Mayor Ellsworth. My name is Jenny Ocone, Executive Director of the Up Valley Family Centers, and I'm here to support the idea of raising the flag here in St. Helena. I think it will send a strong message of inclusion, equality, and safety for the communities, LGBTQ communities living here and visiting here in our community. So thank you for considering it.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bobby Monette, and I'm speaking as a citizen and a member of the Tobacco Coalition. And we had a meeting today, and Anne mentioned in that meeting that when she or her friends or family would see a flag, the rainbow flag waving in front of a grocery store or someplace, she would feel safe. And it occurred to me that I don't think about that. I'm pretty much of a mainstream person. I'm old, and I'm a woman, but I'm white, and I'm pretty mainstream. And it never occurs to me whether I'm going to be safe when I go into the grocery store. So it was kind of really stunning to hear, and it made me want to say, a couple of things. And I also was at the Napa City Council meeting a couple of weeks ago, and the teenagers there were speaking for this project. project as well. And it is so inspiring, having grown up in the 50s, in the 40s and 50s. It's so inspiring for me to see teenagers involved in this cultural shift that's been going on for a long time. And it's like the end of the toilet paper, it goes really fast at the end. It's been going slow for many, many years. It's great to see it. And it just reminds me of the public health issues that are involved and the symbolism of that flag, the psychological, the mental, the spiritual, and the physical aspects of, first of all, there's a lot of tobacco use in these communities and other health issues that are going to go away when there's more inclusion. And so I'm really hoping that this flag will be part of our community, and it will symbolize, the positive impacts, will raise the waters for all the boats in what will be the safe harbor of St. Helena. So, thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor Ellsworth, Council. My name is Jason Kishineff. I'm a congressional candidate here in District 5 and a progressive Democrat. I know a lot of people that are in the LGBTQ community. I've heard this last month, speaking to other councils with this group, stories about feeling alone, being called names, even violence. Perhaps the most disturbing thing I've learned is that nearly 44% of LGBTQ teenagers consider suicide at some point. A few months ago, I heard a story of a young lady on publicly funded radio. She was a black transgender woman, and the LGBTQ community didn't really identify with her or her friends as a trans woman, and her black family didn't really identify with her, and she felt very out of place. So flying these flags makes the community feel safe, like they're okay and accepted wherever it's flying. I'm glad to hear that you guys are so open to it, although really driving up here, I didn't really have much doubt that you would make that decision. It really just takes a simple gesture to show that the government stands with the people. When the federal government is moving to exclude transgender individuals from serving their country, and most recently, President is trying to make it okay so that to take away medical rights for this community. It's never been more important for bodies of the people like yourselves to stand with the people. So I thank you.
Thank you. Is there any more public comment? We have enough.
I'm Beth Nelson. I'm a Napa resident, and everybody else was so eloquent, so thank you for your comments. I had actually reached out to Geoff a few weeks ago when some of us kind of picked up the ball and realized we have to get the flag flown this year. This is the biggest pride in history. World Pride, which happens every 2 years, is happening in the United States for the first time at the end of June in New York City. So it's a really big deal. But I reached out to Geoff to say that if you would like, I would like to donate a flag. St. Helena has a very special place in my heart. I was hospitalized when I was 20 because I did try to take my own life. I had a lot of years of severe depression, and when I was 20, up in St. Helena Hospital, the doctor asked me point blank about my sexuality, and I did not see that coming because I kept it really well hidden. I never dated. I didn't do anything. And I just decided on the spot to come out. And I was just, the space was held for me, and it was okay. And I, in fact, as you know, it's a Seventh-day Adventist hospital, but I actually had a nurse come into my room, and she sat down and she said, "Beth, I just want you to know that I have a partner at home who's a woman, and we just had a baby." And she said, "It's really important to me that you understand that you can have whatever life you want." So everyone else has already spoken so well about what the flag means. It is a marker of safety. I really want to thank you for being open to this, and you've been so proactive, and I'm blown away because this was 25 years ago next month. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for speaking. Is there any council comment?
You know, I think most people know where I stand on this issue. I'm going to move approval of this item as recommended by staff.
I'll second.
Before we vote, I just want to echo something that was said. I too agree that diversity is what makes our community beautiful and strong, and it's the inclusion of all of us that makes us whole. And so the words spoken tonight were incredible and appreciated here. And so with that, we'll have the roll call.
Vice Mayor Doring?
Yes.
Councilmember Chateau?
Yes.
Knudsen?
Yes.
Oberstein?
Yes.
Mayor Ellsworth?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Thank you.